Hey guys, Anthony here. It's Friday, March 20th, 2020. I'm sitting here driving back to the Charlotte area from Virginia. I've got to drop off my little doggies. They've been with us for about 10 days. I'm going to bring them back home and they're going to stay there for a while. If you hear panting in the background, which you probably can hear clearly, that's Charlotte. She's sitting on the seat next to me and Teddy's on the floor. He's sacked out. Charlotte has been panting now going on, it's 2:16 p.m. She's been panting since 11. I stopped once already, gave her a drink, took him out to the bathroom, and I'm gonna stop again at to get gas in about 40 minutes or so, and then head right back into the Charlotte area. But I wanted to do a video just discussing what has transpired in this country. For anybody to say right now that, oh well, in a couple of weeks, once this blows over, we're going to be back to normal, you're absolutely, totally crazy if you think that's going to happen. What happened to this country with the Wuhan flu, the Chinese virus, the coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, whatever you feel safe saying, what happened in the stock market, what's going to happen with the housing market, what's going to happen with jobs being lost, stores being closed, businesses being shuttered. I don't think it's really set into a lot of Americans yet. A lot of my videos, both prepping videos and Bible study videos, have told you that America has a day of reckoning coming. America has snubbed their noses at Yahweh. America has done their own thing and said, God, I don't need you. I have wealth. I have money in the bank. I have a 401k. I have whatever. I have happiness. I could do what I want. I'm my own person. My body's mine. I could do what I want with it. After a while, God says, okay, do what you want. You don't want to include me in the deal? Do what you want with me. Do what you want with yourself. And see how good that gets you. See where you go when you're eating out of dumpsters. See where you go when you're on a bread line, when you can't make your rent, your mortgage, your car payments, when you can barely put food on the table or keep the lights on. Then see how you cry out to me. See what you do then. Well, guys, I think we're headed in that direction, and I don't want to spread fear and panic. I know I've talked to family members. I've talked to people on YouTube, and people just say, oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, if you've got a 401k right now that you were depending on for retirement, you haven't seen anything yet. You might have lost a lot of money on it already. Well, the best is yet to come. The government is going to bail out the big corporations. You could take the money to the bank on that one. They're going to get a handout. What they do with that handout, whether they buy back their own stock, what they do with it, remains to be seen. We're still trying to overcome this virus that has been placed upon us. We're still trying to overcome cities being placed on lockdown, like in California and New York. Is that the norm? Is that what we're going to see roll out across the board? I don't know. Hopefully not, because if that keeps up, people can't get to work, businesses can't open. How long can that be sustained? How long before you see trucks driving by me right now, and I see trucks on the road today. What they have in them, I don't know. But what's going to happen when people can't get deliveries to the stores being resupplied, meats, necessities on the shelves? What's going to happen when that gets starting to get rationed, or doesn't hit the stores fast enough for the influx of people wanting to buy them? What's going to happen? People are going to be upset. They're going to be PO'd, and they're going to take it out on other people, possibly, or take it out on those that have. What's going to happen when your company tells you, we don't need you right now, we may need you in another month or two, we'll call you? What happens then? Think about it, guys. This could be a tsunami. I've heard it said on some bigger channels, some other channels. There's a tsunami that hit, and everyone hasn't been swept away yet, but it's working its way inland. If you remember the tsunami back in, I believe it was 2004 in Indonesia. Remember, as it swept inland, just swallowing up everything in its path. Is that what's happening? Well, we hear the president talking, we hear politicians talking. Of course, they don't want you to panic. Of course, they don't want you to run down and pull all your money out of the bank, or cash in your 401k and pull what's remaining cash out of it, and even taking the penalty just to have the cash. Of course, they don't want you doing that. They don't want to spread panic, but I can tell you right now, from what I'm hearing and what, if you're reading between the lines, there's people pulling their cash out of banks, and the banks are going to set limits. The banks are going to set how much you can take out. Maybe that's $10,000 today. Next week it could be $5,000, or the week after that it could be $250. Just enough to get you some food and some supplies on your tables. Guys, we're in a SHTF like you haven't seen. And I have said on my videos since Donald Trump was elected that we are in SHTF. In fact, I go back to as early as 2008 when Obama was elected. I said we were in SHTF and that we needed to start preparing. And I was telling people when I started my channel back in those days that we are in SHTF. Now is the time to prepare. And hopefully people listened. But I know a lot of people I know didn't listen, because they just look at their bank accounts, their fat 401ks, their Mercedes-Benz in the driveway, all their overhead that they got, their lifestyles that they're living, the lifestyles of the rich and famous, guys. That's America. We want to impress the Joneses. Nobody's content staying home anymore and doing things with the family that don't cost tons of money. They've got to go on elaborate vacations and spend thousands. Well, those days are over. Those days are over, guys. Bank accounts, pensions, 401ks. What's the future of these things? I'm not into the financial industry, but I'm listening to some professionals that I follow on YouTube and other various modes, and they're not speaking too highly of what's going on right now. And if you think that it's all going back to normal and everything's going to be back to the way it was a month or two ago, or prior to late 2019, you're absolutely crazy. That's the best word I can think of right now while I'm driving. Because, guys, to go out right now and buy long-term food, to stock it, to supply it for your family, to go out and stand in lines, to go out and see what's on the shelves, you're going to have a hard time, but you can still do it. You can still put away some food and water and other supplies, but stuff's flying off the shelves, guys. If you haven't made a plan for your family to feed them for 30, 60, 90 days, you've done a terrible disservice to your family. If you haven't put some hard metals aside, gold, silver, platinum, at least something that you can physically have in your hand versus a worthless piece of paper or notes, dollars that are going to be hyperinflated soon when all this money starts getting pumped into the economy that they're going to be printing up. What do you think that does to the dollars? It robs us. Inflation robs us of our wealth. It transfers our wealth. I mean, I even know that. So, my advice to people, I am saying to panic. In fact, I am saying to go out and panic buy. I am saying to go out and buy food and water and ability to sustain yourselves. And I'm absolutely 100% telling you, you better go get firearms. You better go get ammo while it's still available, because it is flying off the shelves. And it's not going to be there when you want it. When the thief comes and knocking for your stuff, and I'm not trying to panic people or scare people, but I'm telling you, this country is gearing up for something big. And I can tell you the enemy's got their guns already, and they got their ammo already. Remember the billions of rounds of ammo that Obama purchased when he was in office? Where do you think all that went? What do you think all that's going to be used for? Think long and hard, guys. Go back and watch my videos from years ago. You'll see what I was talking about. You had better have the means to protect your family, your loved ones, and be able to hunker down. I don't have that luxury right now. I've got to be on the road. I've got to be out in the thick of it. My wife's getting treatment, radiation treatment. I've got to go back and forth into Washington, D.C. every day. I don't have a choice the next 5 weeks. But I can tell you this, after these 5 weeks are over, God willing, if I get through it, when we get through this unscathed, my wife's healing process begins with the radiation, I'm not leaving my house. If I don't have to. I may go out to work and back home. I'm not venturing far from home base. And if something does break bad, I'm going to be super close to be back home and ready to fight. That's my mindset right now. This is not going to be back to normal, guys. We have seen possibly a new world order system being put into place. We could see that. It may take weeks, it may take months, it may take a year. But it's happening. We're seeing the beast system being built up right before our eyes, guys. A new paradigm. Stay well, stay ready. Hopefully I can post this from the road. I don't know. I'm driving. I'm in the middle of the highway right now. But we'll see what happens, guys. I've got some Bible studies prepared. I've got some scripture prepared. Because this is the time for America to turn from our idols, to turn from things we've been worshiping, to turn back to Yahweh. Forget about these churches you go to, these health and wealth churches, these churches that keep telling you, oh, you deserve the best. Do this, do that. No, get back to the Bible. Get back to the Word. Jesus is the Word. Read John chapter 1, verse 1 through 14. He's the Word. The Bible's the Word. He is the Word. From cover to cover. That's the Word. That's what's going to help you right now. Not following idols or worshiping things that can't save you. That's my rant for today, guys, or for now. There'll be more videos coming. But there's a storm upon us, guys, and it's big. It's bigger than I even thought it could be. And it's hit hard, it's hit fast, like a Mike Tyson right hand, where the person getting hit has no idea what hit them. Even when they wake up, there's birds chirping around their heads. That's what's happening right now. People are frozen in panic. Stay ready, guys. They don't want groups of more than 10 forming. That's for a reason. Hunker down and stay ready. Anthony, signing off.